great guest here in the Human Touch exhibit at this show in Las Vegas. We're delighted that you've tuned into tomorrow. So this next guest calls themselves the Mac keyboard experts, and you're going to see why, because they in fact are. The Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of Matias is Steve McGowan. Steve, welcome back into tomorrow. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you here in Las Vegas.
Yes, indeed. And last time we met up and interviewed, it was at IFA in Berlin.
Yes, so we talk on both sides of the Atlantic.
Yes, very true. And that's very cool. You're launching some new things here in Vegas this week, are you not?
We are. And ironically, it kind of ties in with the European angle because Europe basically decided that USB-C should be the new future for connections.
And it's a good thing. I mean, now we just need to slap Apple around and make sure that they get the big picture too, because my goodness, everything is USB-C except iPhones and iPads, and they're going there, right?
They're pretty influential, and they held off a bit, but I think they've seen the light, and they're going to USB-C for the next version of iPhones.
It's a good thing because I've loved USB-C on my phone and other devices, and it's like, this is so easy and so simple, and they're available everywhere, and you don't have to pay Apple prices for them.
Yes.
So that helps too, right?
And that ties in what we do in terms of keyboards. We make high-quality keyboards for primarily the Mac market, and we don't cost as much as Apple does.
That's good, because not only does that get everybody's attention, but your keyboards are excellent. Your mice are excellent. And things we've heard from our audience that say, I've always used Matias stuff since it's been available. It's like, well, we're glad to hear that. So it's nice to have guests on that people relate to.
And it's nice to hear that as well, because when we come to trade shows like this, oftentimes we have customers that come by and say, I bought your keyboard 23 years ago when you first started, and it's great to see you still doing it and having new versions. And what do you have now? It's 10 years. It's time for a new keyboard. So it's nice to have these long-term customers coming back over and over.
And it gives you the warm fuzzies to know that you're taking care of a lot of people, except those of us who are not Mac users, all right? But you're
Dave, we have to convert you
too.
to the right path.
No. Just like I'm not an iPhoney either. So for the same thing. But are you doing things for Windows?
Absolutely. We make keyboards for Windows and Mac, and even for our mice. Of course, mice are for everything.
Yeah,
Windows
that's true.
And Mac are the same for mice. But yeah, absolutely, our PC Windows friends are just as loved as our Mac and iOS friends.
Good. But being the Mac keyboard experts, nothing wrong with that. There's a whole lot of Macs out there, and they're very happy users. So by all means, it's nice. You've got a wired mouse to show us.
We do.
USB-C, as you mentioned. So let's talk about the mice that you brought to the broadcast area here.
Yeah, sounds good. What we're most known, of course, is for keyboards, but for many, many years, people have said to us, what's the mouse that goes along with our keyboard? And we, in the past, said, you buy someone else's mouse, but we decided we should make our own.
Yeah.
Took 2 years to get it right, spent a lot of time and effort getting the shape just comfortable and perfect for everybody. We got different size hand people in the office, and we found the size that fits everybody's hand right. But what we want to do is make something special in our mice. And what we did special is we made our mice out of a new kind of material called PBT.
PBT. It stands for something, I'm sure.
There's a long chemical name for it.
Yeah, we'll just stick with PBT then. Yeah.
And this is a special kind of plastic that's used in high-end cars, airplanes. It's been around for a while, but it's not used too often for mice. In fact, none of the major mouse manufacturers use PBT because it's expensive, it's hard to work with, it's hard to get the angles right because the shrinkage is a factor. We figured it out. Our chief engineer is a very smart guy, and he basically figured out the shrinkage issues. And so we are one of the only companies in the world that have ever made a mouse out of PBT. And so now the joy of white not turning to yellow over time, the joy of the material staying dry and smooth to the touch and not turning sticky and mucky over time is here in our Matias PBT mice.
And you got to love the fact that you solved the shrinkage issue, because I hate when that happens. So we've got different mice, and of course wired. You have wireless mice too.
Wireless mice are coming
line?
soon. The ones at this show are the wired ones. We've got black and white in USB-C and in USB-A. And therefore, we've got 4 choices available right now.
Yeah, because you may have some older machines that are working fine, right? And you don't have USB-C unless you have a separate docking station or something. So the standard USB is going to work fine.
For sure.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of corporations that still use USB-A. There's a lot of corporations that want the stability and reliability of a wired connection. And so we want to make everybody happy. And so whether they're using USB-A or USB-C or whether they're Mac or PC, there's a mouse for everybody.
And we started out talking, of course, about USB-C. Do you guys see that as the future for keyboards and mice?
Absolutely. And this keyboard here is one that we launched at the show here.
Whoops.
And you can see
Chris is trying to follow it. There you go.
is got our USB-C connection on the end.
Nice.
And basically, it's a nice wired keyboard that fills the hole in the Apple lineup where Apple stopped making wired keyboards and just make wireless now. And we wanted to be there to keep the security and reliability of a wired connection, but be there for the future for USB-C.
Yeah, why would Apple stop making wired? Because there's so many people, like you mentioned, security and so forth, that say, no, I want a wired keyboard.
Apple knows better. Apple knows that you want wireless and you want clean desktop and thin.
And lightning connectors. And they know better. But see, that's why Matias does know better. And you and your engineering team figuring out the issues that others say, it's impossible, we're not going to do that, or it's too expensive, or it's too difficult. You guys take care of it.
We like solving problems that other people can't solve,
Yeah.
and we're glad that we've brought these mice to the world to enjoy the beauty of PBT and the beauty of aluminum wired and aluminum buttons and scroll wheels to make a better mouse experience.
And plus, everything looks nice. I mean, your keyboards look nice, your mice look nice, and that is all part of it, too. Something you work with all day, every day.
Beauty and functionality are best when they're together.
Love it. Thank you, Steve, again for joining us here. And keep up the good work, because there's always fun things that you guys are doing, and we love to show our audience.
Well, thanks so much, Dave. It's always great being on the show with you. And thanks for enduring my throat that started to fade after chatting with so many people at the show today.
Me too. You know, we always talk about every time I'm in Las Vegas for any show, the same thing happens to me because in Miami we've got a lot of humidity. You come out here and there's none, and it goes right to my throat within minutes of stepping off the airplane, and you can hear it in both of our voices. So we talk to people all day, and you in your booth and me doing interviews, and man, it's hard. And we've still got 2.5 days to go.
Wow.
So let's hope we can keep our voices going. Hot tea with lemon and honey.
Okay,
and
that's
I
my
hate hot
prescription
tea,
for
but that's the only time I have it. And they can't bring me enough of it. Matias.ca, Matias.ca. Of course, as always, we'll get you there when you visit us at intotomorrow.com. And you want to do that because you want to see the stuff we're talking about here with Steve and all of our guests. From the Human Touch exhibit, you see their massage chairs in the background of our interviews, too. I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned. Into Tomorrow continues right here on the Advanced Media Network.